Tonight on Bridge City News, Alberta Premier Jason Kenney announced the gradual reopening of the provincial economy this week, and golf courses were some of the first businesses getting back on track. Lethbridge police are investigating a sudden death after a body was discovered early this morning at a West Side park. And the Virgin Galactic spaceship made its first glide flight from Spaceport America as it hopes to allow passengers to experience weightlessness in the lower reaches of space.
Your nation, your province, your southern Alberta. From the heart of Lethbridge, it's Bridge City News with Paul Arthur.
Thanks for joining us. It has been a long wait for golfers, but with this week's announcement of the gradual reopening of our economy from Alberta Premier Jason Kenney, golf courses opened up today, and we checked in with the Paradise Canyon Golf Club to see how things went.
Very exciting to be back. I'm sure everyone's eager to get going. First tee time was at 10 o'clock, so we are the third time out. It looks like people are coming down the ramp, so it's probably going to be pretty busy today, or as busy as can be, as tee times are spaced further apart. There's still lots of restrictions in place, social distancing, changes to how they clean the carts, changes to who can go in the pro shop, changes to the cups, so you're not touching the flag and the ball as much.
The response once we got the official word on opening has been extremely amazing. Our tee sheets are lighting up like Christmas trees right now. People have the ability to book online, so most of our members and corporates have taken advantage of booking the maximum amount of tee times they can based on their privileges. So we know that we already got a booked tee sheet for the next 2 weeks. Today, as it being opening day, super exciting, different feel driving to work today. So that was a good feeling to have again, knowing we'll see members and guests. And so far, everybody that has arrived has followed the rules we've set in place. No earlier than 15 minutes before your tee time. Proper check-in protocol at the pro shop has been handled well so far, and we hope for a good day.
If things go smoothly, it is likely that the driving range and putting greens will open soon as well. Provincial parks are also now open, and although one might have expected crowds to show up at Park Lake today, that wasn't the case. It was relatively quiet this morning, with perhaps 10 cars in the parking lot and a few families enjoying the nice weather. The province says it is working to open as many campgrounds as possible by June 1st, and online camping reservations will begin on May 14th. Lethbridge police are investigating a sudden death after the body of a male was located earlier this morning on a West Side park. Just before 7 a.m., EMS responded to a report of a man asleep against a snow fence in Assiniboia Park along the 100 block of Jerry Potts Boulevard. When paramedics arrived, the male was found to be deceased. Police are investigating, however, there is no evidence to suggest foul play at this time. One employee at the Bovary meat processing plant in Fort Macleod, Alberta, tested positive for COVID-19 earlier this week. As a result, Occupational Health and Safety conducted an inspection of the facility on Thursday, along with Alberta Health Services and the Canada Food Inspection Agency, and will allow it to continue operations. However, Bovary meat processing has decided to shut the plant down for 1 week, starting Monday, with additional safety measures put in place, and will also have a second shift now to help with physical distancing. Meanwhile, the United Food and Commercial Workers Union is trying to halt the planned reopening of another Alberta beef packing plant that has been the site of a major COVID-19 outbreak. There have been 921 cases at the Cargill plant near High River, which has 2,000 workers. Cargill announced April 20th that it was temporarily shutting down for 2 weeks and says it has since bolstered safety measures. Alberta Health Services officials have done on-site inspections and say it is safe, but the union says workers are scared and it is asking for a stop work order. An ice jam on the Peace River continues to threaten several other northern Alberta communities with flooding, even as water levels recede in Fort McMurray. Mandatory evacuation orders were lifted yesterday in 5 parts of the city, although residents in one other neighborhood still are not allowed to return home. Alberta's Environment Minister said yesterday a 44-kilometer-long icy mass on the Peace River could mean another 6,000 residents of the Little Red River Cree Nation may need support from the province. Ottawa police allege a request to respect physical distancing measures turned violent in an Ottawa store on Thursday night. They say 2 women and 2 teenage girls attacked the store employee after they were asked to keep apart to limit the spread of COVID-19. Police allege the accused kicked and punched the employee, threw store merchandise, and smashed the victim's cell phone. They were arrested a short time later and charged with various offenses, including assault and assault with a weapon. The Canadian Civil Liberties Association says Canadians' privacy could be jeopardized by the development and use of contact tracing smartphone apps. It wants independent oversight of the data collected by governments and how it is used in the long term. Alberta launched an app yesterday, and other provinces will be doing so shortly. The apps allow public health officials to follow those infected with COVID-19 and trace their contacts to prevent the spread of the virus. But privacy watchdogs warn that even if the apps are voluntary, governments could potentially manipulate the data. As pandemic-related stress and anxiety continues to take its toll, some doctors say what's needed is a system that will address the long-term psychological impact on Canadians. Conditions such as anxiety and depression have been escalating during the pandemic, with an Angus Reid report published this week finding half of all people surveyed said their mental health has worsened over the past month and a half. Mental health organizations are launching online self-assessment tools and developing virtual consulting methods, and they are calling for more federal funding to cover psychotherapy. A Quebec fashion designer has launched a limited edition of high-end designer face masks inspired by the costumes of professional figure skaters. Matthew Caron has designed costumes for Canadian Olympic champ Tessa Virtue and world silver medalist Shoma Uno of Japan, among others. The masks have been a hit in Japan, where 245 masks were sold in just 3 hours. The 8 models cost between $150 and $300, but Caron says the profits are going to the World Health Organization. U.S. regulators are now allowing emergency use of an experimental drug that appears to help some coronavirus patients recover faster. It is the first drug shown to help fight COVID-19. President Donald Trump made the announcement at the White House.
I'm pleased to announce that Gilead now has an EUA from the FDA for remdesivir. And you know what that is, because that's been the hot thing also in the papers and in the media for the last little while. An important treatment for hospitalized coronavirus patients. And it's something, I spoke with Dr. Khan and Dr. Fauci. I spoke with Deborah about it, and it's really a very promising situation. We've been doing work with the teams at the FDA, NIH, and Gilead for spearheading this public-private partnership to make this happen very quickly.
Really, the thanks go to the patients and the caregivers that participated in these clinical trials. I also want to say I'm privileged to work with a group of amazing scientists at Gilead that for decades have been working on antivirals, and we're poised to put remdesivir immediately into clinical trials when we saw the COVID-19 circulating. So I'm really proud of the colleagues back at Gilead. What I'd like to say is that, on behalf of Gilead, to the President's point, we feel a tremendous responsibility. We're humbled by this being an important first step for patients, for hospitalized patients. We want to make sure nothing gets in the way of these patients getting the medicine, so we made a decision to donate about 1.5 million vials of remdesivir. We'll be working with the government to determine how best to distribute that.
So far, Canada has not given the go-ahead to use the drug treatments here. Virgin Galactic's spaceship landed in the New Mexico desert yesterday after its first glide flight from Spaceport America. The company hopes to take passengers on supersonic thrill rides to the lower reaches of space to experience weightlessness.
3, 2, 1, release. Clean release.
I have to say, that does look like a lot of fun. Music therapists like Amy Love are also having fun as they find new ways to provide bedside therapy to children hospitalized at St. Jude's Research Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee.
I get to use music to help kids feel connected and find new skills and really help them cope with the hospitalization process. Things have really changed since coronavirus came to the United States, and our top priority at St. Jude is to keep our patients and families safe, and we're learning how to do that in a really new way.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm Celeste. I'm Amy. We're the music therapy team, and we would love for you to move with us and sing with us and dance with us.
Myself and my coworker Celeste and our intern I'll practice social distancing in my backyard with lots of picnic blankets. I want them to know that we're thinking of them. We're still here. We still want to support them. And I hope that they feel like they are empowered, that they are able to do these things on their own, whether we're on the screen or in person at the bedside.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un has reportedly made his first public appearance since April 11th, following rumors of his poor health or even death. State media showed a video of Kim, along with his sister Kim Yo-jong, and senior officials celebrating the completion of a fertilizer factory near Pyongyang yesterday. Speculation about Kim's health began after he missed the April 15th birthday celebration for his late grandfather, North Korea's most important holiday. Recapping one of our top news stories, Lethbridge police are investigating a sudden death after a body was located early this morning at Assiniboia Park on the west side. At this point in the investigation, police do not suspect foul play. And a look at weekend weather. It certainly was a nice day today, and the mild temperatures should stay with us for a few days yet. A few clouds tonight with a low of 4, and tomorrow a mix of sun and cloud. A southwest wind gusting from 60 to 80 in the afternoon with a high of 15. Recently, Lethbridge East MLA Nathan Newdorf joined us to discuss some of the challenges the province is facing with the COVID-19 pandemic. That interview is straight ahead.